You are now listening to episode 8 of a self-help podcast where we focus on lifting each other up and counting our blessings at the same time. We are your hosts. Hi, I'm Mia.
I'm Kiosha, and
And
this
this
is
is
Crazy
Crazy Beautiful.
Beautiful Talk. All right, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is our Black History episode. I'm super excited. We are in our Black History Month. This episode, we wanted to highlight and give some fun facts about Black history. Some of you may have heard, some of you may have not. This will hopefully give all of our non-Black viewers a look into our history. So I didn't know this until I was doing some research. And the founder of this month is the son of a former slave by the name of Dr. Carter Woodson. Woodson was urging other organizations, including his college fraternity, to promote achievements of Black Americans as early as the 1920s. He continued these efforts through the 1920s, and in 1926, he put out a press release naming a week in February as Negro History Week. There is a special tribute to Woodson every year at the White House. Okay.
Now, I knew that Black History Month started as Negro History Week. They taught us that in school.
Whew, I wasn't paying.
Yes. Or maybe because you grew up in Utah.
You're absolutely right. I don't think I never took Black History. Oh God. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, if not, they didn't have a class called Black History Month. They just had a class for history, and in history class during February, we learned about Black history. So
Which is okay, but
yeah.
now they actually have like African American history and stuff
Dang.
like that, which is awesome. Because back in the day, like we literally did not have that,
We had to
which
listen
is
to old
crazy now that you think
stories.
about it, right?
But you can't believe everything you read in textbooks is true.
No, heck no.
So you got to do your research, people. You have to do your research before you read anything or quote anything. Make sure you do your research. Okay. Did you know each year's Black History Month has a different theme and focus? You might be surprised to learn that each Black History Month has a different area of focus. According to the ASALH site, themes for the last decade have included Emancipation Proclamation March on Washington in 2013, Civil Rights in America in 2014, Sites of African American Memories in 2016, The Crisis in Black Education in 2017, African American in Times of War in 2018, and Black Migrations in 2019. For 2020, the theme of the month was African Americans and the vote.
That's crazy. I had no idea that every year there were like different themes that we focused on, but now that you like look back and think about it, like literally everyone was focused on the same thing.
Exactly.
Like
They knew
that's
what they were
weird.
doing.
Yes, that's weird.
And what did you say 2020 is the marks the 100th year that
Yes.
Black people can vote?
Yes, according to people.com, 2020 was the 100th year anniversary of the 19th Amendment and the 15th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote and African Americans the right to vote, respectively.
Wow.
100, that's it. Like we've only been able to vote for
For 100 years.
like that's crazy when you think like when you think about it. Like 100 years. That's it. We've all been on this earth for God knows how long, but we've only been able to vote respectively where it counts for 100 years.
That's one lifetime, if you think about it.
Yeah,
Someone's whole lifetime.
that's
That's
it.
not even that long ago.
No. Not at all. Gosh, that's crazy. The theme of the 2021 Black History Month is the Black family, representation, identity, and diversity. I'm super excited about this. I think this is awesome because we really haven't been focused on. According to the ASALH site, the 2021 theme for Black History Month is all about the Black family and how it has been stereotyped and vilified from the days of slavery to our own time. This month will focus on the ways in which Black families are separated from their birthplaces through atrocities and slavery, and the effects that this has had. So ASALH reads, the Black family knows no single location. Since family reunions and genetic ancestry searches testify to the spread of family members across states, nations, and continents.
I can attest to that because I did Ancestry.com and I found out that I'm Nigerian. So it made me more into being Nigerian. I don't know, learning. I'm like 47% Nigerian. So it's exciting to know what you are. I guess that's what this month is going to be about. Knowing who you are, getting back to your roots, and, educating yourself.
Yes, I know I need to. I really need to do. Which one did you do? 23andMe?
No, I did Ancestry.com.
Okay, Ancestry.com. I need to do that because I want to know. I remember you showing me yours, and like it literally breaks down like every single country that you are a part of. Like that's crazy, and there was so many of them.
It's so many.
Even though you were 47% Nigerian, like there were so many other.
And a lot of what I am is African. I mean, I think I'm. We'll talk about that later. We'll save that for an episode. Don't want to give it all away. With that being said, I want to touch on the ever-evolving evolution of Black family in television.
Yes.
Okay. Good Times. I didn't watch this show, but Good Time, keeping their heads above water, 74 through 79. That was when my mom was born. Well, she was born in
64.
Oh, 64. Oh, shoot. I was trying to make her young. Okay. Good Times gave us a look at the struggling Black family in Chicago's inner city projects that was living against the odds in majority of the episodes.
So I did see this growing up. Okay. I saw it like later, obviously. I was born in 82, so I saw it after it had aired already. But I remember it, and I remember it giving such a negative connotation on the Black family and the toxicity of it and the yelling and the cursing and the, it didn't give a positive view of the Black family. It gave a very negative view of the Black family. I definitely remember that.
Yeah. I don't remember. I remember something like the Jeffersons. Is that what something? Or
yes, the Jeffersons.
Like moving on up. Like that was their theme. Yes, so I was like, okay.
Yes, that was definitely more of a positive outlook on the Black family, but it actually did focus on a lot of racial views as well, which brings us to the Cosby Show. Okay. Now, this was the redefining image of the Black family. This was in the 80s. The Cosby Show was quoted as TV's biggest hit in the 1980s. The show followed the Huxtables, an upper-class African-American family who lived in Brooklyn, New York. Cliff was a doctor, Claire was a lawyer, and then they had, of course, their children, which were very educated and, got into more of a high class area for being a Black family. The Huxtable changed how many people viewed Black families in the 80s, especially Black families. The show depicted a successful Black husband and wife thriving in their chosen professions, graduates of fictional HBCUs, and raising 5 kids with morals and values, something we did not see.
Yeah, I think that's very important back then, because not even just for um, a Black woman to have a job and still take care of her family. That was for all women, because back then it was like, oh, women stay home, take care of the kids, and the father goes out and is the breadwinner, you know? So I feel like not only were they trying to bring Black women up, but they were trying to bring all women up. Like, you could do both, like, you know, showing people that there is a way and you can have your career and your children and a happy husband at the
Yes.
same time. So
Yeah.
I watched the Cosby Show when I was young.
Yes, definitely. I love the Cosby Show, and it was definitely a positive view on just the Black American family and
And
what
have
what we are and what a lot of us are. Like, a lot of people didn't see us as successful 2-parent families, being happy, raising, good children.
true.
Yeah, educated children. Like, a lot of people didn't, I should say, back in the day, didn't view Black families as that.
Hmm.
So I was seriously glad that they came out with that. Like, that was the bomb back then. That also showed, like, as a Black family, you can have like different uh shades of Black.
Oh yeah, that raised a lot of questions, because it's like, okay, how is the oldest child so light and then
Yes, but
got it
no, like,
dark?
yes, if you see my children, like, I have a chocolate, I have a brown skin, I have a light skin, I have an even lighter skin. Like, as I don't know, like, as Black America, like, we create, like, just everything. I love it.
Okay, so the next one is The Fresh Prince, Keeping It Real, 90s. It was a guide on everything from racial profiling and police brutality to interracial dating, racially biased hiring policies. For many young Black viewers, it'd be their first time seeing problems depicted on screen. For many more viewers, The Fresh Prince just might have been the first time you saw Black family on television.
The Fresh Prince definitely went deeper. They definitely showed racial profiling, all that stuff, but they showed Will Smith coming from um, wherever he came, West Philadelphia.
Yeah, the project, low, you know,
Yes,
and then having to adapt
yes,
to a better society and more, you know, not better people. I don't want to say that, but more educated. It's different people than him. And for him to come from a lower class and to adapt, like, you could do it too. You can change. Like, what they say, you could take the hood out the guy, but you could take the guy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the guy. Like, for a minute, yeah, he was fighting it, but then he ended up being a really
he
good person.
adapted to it. He
Yeah, yeah.
acclimated to the situation. He conformed to, just being able to not only being able to go back to West Philadelphia and be with his friends, but being able to be, go to Beverly Hills and
Mm-hmm.
get I guess it was a better education and be with the other side of his family and see what they are living like and stuff like that. It, I don't remember the interracial dating part though. Do you?
Oh.
I don't remember that part. I remember, like, they did racial profiling. I remember when they had to, like, go back to the hood with Carlton, and then the judge had to get into it because, they racially profiled, stuff like that. But I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I don't remember in the interracial, but it also taught us that there are Black people out there that are not like us. they're not uppity, but they're from a richer class, and that's where they grew up. And it lets us know that we're different. Everybody's different. Everybody grew up differently, but you can adapt.
Definitely. So that brings us to, like, right now, what the Black family main TV show, and that's Blackish, today's Black family. Okay.
I love this show.
Yeah. It's an American sitcom that centers on a upper middle class African American family, which with similarities to the Cosby Show. Okay. Blackish offers a more modern take on the Black family and draws on current issues for its narratives. Unlike the Huxtables, the Johnsons deal with red button issues head on with a good dose of comedy. Blackish episodes have addressed issues such as Juneteenth, post-Trump grief, police brutality, and even the N-word.
Now, I love this show because not only do they keep up with what's going on at the moment, like I feel like they tape like a week. I don't know. They're just so up to what's happening at that time. So it's like, oh my God, it feels like they're living it with you. Like when it comes to the quarantine, like I feel like they changed their whole episode and made it like it is now, like, and it made us relate more. Even with the police brutality, they had an episode right in the middle of the riots in LA and all over the world. Like, they were in tune, and they make you kind of understand, and it makes you kind of understand both sides. Like, they get the Black perspective off, and I feel like I'd be like, oh, it's a little cringy because it's like, oh my God, they're just really saying how we feel. Like, can they get away with this on TV? But then they wrap it up with how the economy is, and makes us understand what's going on. I don't know. I just love this show. I could probably talk about that show for a long time. But
See, with that show, what I also notice is the reason it's called Blackish is because society has a view on what Black people should be. And they call it Blackish because their children speak a specific way, because they act a specific way, because he came from one side of the town and she came from another. And I see that every day. People ask me, my kids speak, I don't know how my kids speak. My kids speak like me. And people always make stupid comments on the way I speak or my children speak or the way that we come off, which is hard sometimes. Still, like, we're in 2020 and we're in 2021.
Right. Exactly.
And I remember in 2019, I was on the phone with a client. Well, maybe it was like 2016, 17, 18. I was on the phone with a client anyways. And, my last name is Alan at the time. Oh, my last name is Alan right now. And he had to come in and see me. Well, when he got up to the front, I walked up there and I said, hi, how are you? And he goes, I'm here to see Miss Allen. And I said, I'm Miss Allen. He goes, I don't think you're the one. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, I didn't talk to a Black lady.
Oh,
I said, you did. I'm right here. He said, you don't sound like a Black lady. I said, I do.
But I am.
And I've gotten that like so many times, like especially within my career. It's crazy. I'm Black. So yeah, I sound like a Black lady.
And what does a Black lady sound like?
Exactly. Of course I'm at work, so I'd be professional all times. But it's hard sometimes. It's hard having to go through that. Even as going through high school and stuff, and when I moved from Utah to California, my friends would make fun of me sometimes. And and also of course in a playful way, but be like, I'm more Black than you, and they weren't Black at all.
Right.
And it's just like, no, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say anything wrong.
You sounded like an educated person.
I sound
So
I sound like an educated Black person, but I mean educated person.
Educated person.
An educated person, period. And whether we're Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, anything, this is how I speak. And if it's like people always comment on it, even to this day, like it's crazy. A guy not date me because of the way I talk.
I think it would probably be the opposite. Okay, so let's move into something light. Okay, we're coming to the end of the episode. And these are just some fun Black history facts. I don't know if they're fun, but there's something that either you may have heard before or you haven't. So feel free to, I don't know, comment on our Facebook. Let us know some things that you found out that you thought you knew differently when you were a kid, and it's clearer now. Number one, most people think of Rosa Parks as being the first person to refuse to give up her seat on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. There were actually several women who came before her. One of the women whom was Claudette Colvin.
Wow.
Right. It was March 2nd, 1955, when the 15-year-old schoolgirl refused to move to the back of the bus, 9 months before Rosa Parks. So what do you think about that?
Well, okay, so I get it. And in my brain, what probably happened is she was the first one that refused, but Rosa Parks probably took the initiative to do the protests and start, doing it every day and going back. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always those people that initiate something, but then there's always those people that follow through with it, if that makes sense.
I feel like Rosa Parks have more of the power. Like, she was older, like a 15-year-old girl. Not saying that people don't take a 15-year-old girl seriously, but it's like it takes a lot before it starts to make noise. Like, before, it's like, I mean, I'm sure before even this young girl, there were people before her, and combined, it's like, okay, now we have more people who understand us and feel like this is wrong. It's not just one person. It wasn't just Rosa Parks. Well, did you hear about the girl who did it before that? Like, we need to start making a stand. I feel like it gave people hope. People think like, okay, someone invented something. No, it's like it took a lot of people for this to come about, I don't know, like Facebook. It didn't get famous because one person signed up and was on Facebook. No, it took a lot of people to sign up, to join the cause, to be that first person to take a leap and download the app. You know what I mean? So, yes.
Facebook, the new Clubhouse. The new Facebook. Okay. So the next one, which is crazy. Interracial marriage in the United States was banned in 1664 and not overturned until 1967. Only 54 years ago was interracial marriage legal.
That's crazy. That is not that.
That is crazy.
That is not that long ago.
I'm almost 40.
Right.
So 54 years ago is when interracial marriage became legal.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't even be able to get married, boo-boo.
I know.
Like, that's like, I don't, like, our world, I get that we have made some major steps towards greatness and equality, but we have so much longer to go.
And it's crazy because you think, like, when you watch movies, they make it seem like so far ago, like racism and being segregated.
Yes!
And they make it seem like it was so long ago. But when you actually do your research and you read up on it and you look at the dates, it's not that long ago.
No.
We're pretty lucky to be born 20 years later. You know what I mean? Like,
Gosh, that's crazy. That means when our mother was born, when our grandmother was born,
They weren't
they could
allowed
not be in
to.
a racial relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's crazy. Just
You can
to
go
love
to jail
someone
for that.
love. Yes. Gosh, that's crazy.
And if that was to come up today, and it's not that far ago. And if someone was to say you can't marry if someone was to say you couldn't marry a dog, it'd be a problem, okay? Like, people out here are so like, I am free to do what I want, and I can do whatever I want. You can't tell me what to do. And if you do, I'm gonna figure a way to make it bad on you. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of people, sign a petition, and like, it's so easy to make it go your way. And it's just crazy. 54 years ago, we weren't allowed to marry outside of our race.
Who you loved. Like, who you loved. That's crazy.
And I knew before that, I'm pretty sure you would have to hide your biracial children.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, another fun fact. Stevie Wonder helped make Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday a national holiday with the assistance of a special lyric from his Happy Birthday song.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes, girl. He is the reason why we celebrate
MLK. Martin
Luther King, and we have a whole day, which usually falls on my birthday, January 20th. So Martin Luther King's birthday is the 15th, I think, right?
I think it's the 15th, but it's always like we always celebrate
the Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this year it's the 18th.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I always used to get my birthday off. When I was in school, we would always get off on my birthday, and I was like excited about it. Like, me, I didn't know when I was a kid that we didn't share the same birthday. I just thought we did because his birthday always fell on my birthday. But yeah, that's things you learn.
Yes, right? All right, last but definitely not least, which I didn't know, Black History Month began as a way of remembering important Black people and events in the history of the African community. It is celebrated in February in the United States and Canada, while in Ireland, the Netherlands, and the United Kingdom, it's observed in October.
That's crazy.
I had no idea.
I wonder why they picked February.
Okay, so the joke is it's the shortest month. That's why we picked February.
So we got to pick February?
Well, I don't know if it was picked, but I've always heard, which I want to research that it's the shortest month, and that's why we were given February.
I think it's deeper than that. I think that's just...
It probably is, but that's just always what I've heard growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so let's end this with a question for our viewers. What was your first conversation about racism?
You can answer this question on our Facebook page, Crazy Beautiful Talks, or in our private group, Crazy Beautiful Talks. Just request to get in.
Our next episode will be on teaching our children about racism. So I hope you join us with another episode of Crazy Beautiful Talks.